Okay.
Well, okay, actually,
Yeah.
I'm not super mad about my scores. I don't care. I don't care that I didn't pass English.
All right. Welcome back, guys. It has been a while.
Yeah, like 3-4 months now.
Yeah.
Last one was recorded, I think, middle of March, like March 20th or something like that.
Yeah. So quarantine kind of hit us hard, and we weren't able to record a lot, and then we just kind of got
Lazy.
sidetracked.
Yeah.
Lazy.
A little bit.
Yeah. What have you been up to these days, Tanner?
Well, honestly, quarantine gave me a lot of time to work on videos, and then I don't know. I just started doing a lot more random little things. Like, I don't know. I like boating a lot more now. I was never a huge fan of boating at first, but now I love it. I go skimboarding when I can, which is random. I like doing flips more now. I've been practicing a lot of flips just for fun.
Cool.
But yeah, I think about quarantine, and sometimes I'm like, what did I actually do during the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you
because
feel
it kind
like?
of feels like a blur.
Exactly.
Yeah, for a while it was just the same thing every day. I would, like wake up at like noon and then just kind of fill my time. And I eventually got a job working at Walmart.
Yes.
Good time.
Go to Walmart.
Other than that, I kind of play the piano a little bit more.
I find myself playing piano too more.
Yeah, when the gym started opening, I started working out more than running. I don't really run anymore, unfortunately. That chapter of my life is kind of closed.
It's closed. Oh, heartbreaking.
Yeah. So, it was a good time of self-discovery, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I never had like any super hard moments during quarantine, but like I had to deal with myself a lot more.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm going through school, I don't have to like address as many problems within myself during it. So like I had like kind of a faith crisis right before I got my call when we were in quarantine. It was like during conference, and I was just sitting there. I'm just like, what do I believe? And it's like I don't actually know what it was.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden everything was just like I had to second guess everything, which I think is important sometimes. Not to just like blindly sit there and just like let it all go over and be like, yeah, I'm good with that. Like I had to like internalize it for myself.
Yeah.
And I was freaking out because I was getting my mission call like the next week or something like that. So I was like, crap.
Yeah.
I can't be like on the fritz right now.
Before we jump into that, I would just like to a couple items of business.
Yes.
We're leaving soon. We will be out in the mission field.
Yes.
And so
Whatever
these
that
will be our final 2 episodes. We're shooting for 2.
Maybe we'll get more.
Maybe more. But probably just these last 2 will be the last ones. Just had to get that out there before we jump into this. Our mission calls is what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because I realized we got that.
Yeah,
in that period. So long ago.
Oh yeah, it does. That's what I was just thinking the other day. I was thinking, oh yeah, I did this around my mission call. Wow, that was like 2 months ago or 3 months ago almost.
Oh, yeah.
So
I had such a long waiting period because I got mine. It was April 22nd, and I still don't leave for another 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I leave in 2.5 weeks about. So yeah, do you want to talk about where you're going?
Yeah,
and everything?
so I'm going to Trinidad, Port of Spain mission, speaking Dutch. It includes the 2 northern countries of South America, which are Guyana and Suriname, and then I have Trinidad and Tobago, Aruba, Curacao, and Caribbean Netherlands. Though I've been checking the stats on like their coronavirus cases and things like that, and they are minuscule. They're non-existent,
Really?
basically.
Okay.
I think Suriname,
That's really good.
I can't remember if Suriname has any deaths, but none of them have over 100 deaths. I'm pretty sure like some of them have like below 1,000 cases easily throughout the entire place.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even have stats on.
Okay.
Like, Aruba's so tiny, though. That's the thing. Like, only 2 missionaries are ever out there, so I never really expected to go out there in the first place. Because I'd be in Suriname for the most part.
Okay.
Your mish?
Yeah, so I got called to Kobe, Japan. Kobe Bryant.
Shout out.
he was named after Kobe steaks, which come from Kobe, Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
Lineage.
what people immediately think of. I'm not a huge Kobe fan, so that's not really what I thought of. But my mom's side of the family is from Japan, so I'm really excited to get out there. Been studying Japanese. That's part of my quarantine routine.
Yeah, you've been doing it a lot.
Yeah. I last week my grandpa he had some. His friend in Japan died, and so he went back to Japan for his funeral, and so I haven't been studying. But I think it was kind of interesting. Right now, in Japan, they're only allowing citizens to go in, and so
I was gonna say I wondered how like your grandpa got in. I'm like I thought no way he could go anywhere.
Yeah, so my grandpa is a citizen. He's not even a U.S. citizen.
Oh,
Kind of
really?
funny. Yeah,
Huh.
but he went back and he called them and he was like, am I allowed to come back? And he said, yeah, we're only letting citizens in. And he said, oh, well, can I take, the public transportation? Because that's what everyone does in Japan. And they said, no, you can't take public transportation right now. And he said, well, how are you going to know, Because once he's in.
Yeah, he's in,
Yeah. You can't take it for like a couple weeks or something.
Okay.
And they said, well, the reason why we know that you won't is because you're Japanese, and we're not letting Americans in because they would take the public transportation. So I thought that was kind of interesting how the people of Japan just kind of come together in this kind of situation. And
yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I remember you telling me just about like how clean Japan is because everybody takes like so much pride in the cleanliness there.
Yeah.
Like, it's much more of like, it sounds like a community of everyone like bringing everyone up. Not to say that like America is not like that, but sometimes it feels a lot more like everyone's in it for themselves in some senses.
Mm-hmm. Well, so here's the thing that my dad pointed out to me about Japan versus America in this kind of sense. Is Japanese is all about the good of the community, whereas America is all about the good of the individual, right? And in order for Japan to be like that, they have to sacrifice some of their freedom to do that. And in some ways, I don't know if it's worth it. It's almost worth it to, be the good of the individual because you have more freedom.
Exactly. So what kind of freedoms are they giving up there exactly?
Well, they, like for example, on trains, no one ever talks. It's dead quiet, and it's kind of like they all agreed to not talk, which it just feels like you're giving up part of your freedom to not talk on the train so that everyone else can be, at peace or something, I guess. Just certain things like that that I think are really interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was any like huge freedoms they actually had to give up or if there's like...
Well, yeah, it's not anything huge, massive. I don't think, but it's...
A mentality.
It's like a little... Yeah, it's a mentality for sure, and it's the little things, I guess, that kind of add up.
Yeah, no, because I think about like if you had like a group of Americans who had like traveled there and they're just on the train just like super loud, everyone would kind of just...
Everyone knows they're American.
Yeah, they just kind of be staring them down like,
other than, looking American.
Well, yeah, that's it.
It was interesting when I went to Japan. I might have brought this up on the podcast one time, but it was interesting because, in here in America, everyone can see that I'm, not white, but when I'm in Japan, everyone knows I'm from America.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't look a lot like them. So I thought
it's because you're half, right?
Yeah, I'm half Japanese, half white. So
yeah, it's crazy like how attuned like people's eyes are to their own race, and like we talked about this in psychology and just like how it's the same reason why people like say jokes like, oh, all the Asians look the same. It's just because you're not used to being around them. Like if you grew up with them, you would be able to see all the minute differences between everyone.
Yeah,
You would tell that.
Oh yeah, I'll be honest. I still struggle, in the differences between Asians, but I can almost always tell a Japanese, but I just can't tell like someone who's not Japanese, Korean versus Chinese, and blah blah blah. So yeah.
So how is it Japan looking for you to be able to actually get in there?
Well, I'm not really sure. If I'm being honest, not too good.
Yeah.
Have you applied for your passport or renewed it?
Oh my gosh, it is. Okay, so we both had our passports and I had to renew mine. Did you have to renew yours?
Yeah, I had to renew mine.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember when I put it in, but it was a long time ago and I have not gotten it back. Not to mention they're still not like getting out visa papers or anything like that. So I say like best bet for me to actually get down to like Trinidad soon would be like December or January. But even then,
me too, for sure.
I don't know. I just don't want to have to go through an actual winter because I was not going to have any winter on my mission. And I don't want to buy a suit and a jacket and all of that.
Yeah, that is true. When I first got my call, I was like, oh yeah, I only want to go to Japan. It would suck to go somewhere else. But now I'm kind of like, I just don't want to be in the MTC. I'll go anywhere. I just don't want to be in.
You were there for a while.
MTC, yeah, I'm there for. I was 10 weeks, and now they moved it down to 9 weeks. But I would rather just go out in the field. Study Japanese occasionally. I'll probably be stateside at least for a couple months.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say I'm pretty optimistic about eventually getting to Japan, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic, but I'm also just like open to like whatever's happening. My main concern with it all is that I'm gonna like do all my Dutch study and like get it all dialed in the MTC, and I'm gonna go out to Louisiana or somewhere like that. I won't have anywhere to like use my Dutch. I think it's gonna be so hard just to practice that each day and keep it up. In like this blind hope that maybe I'll go down to Suriname and use it.
Yeah.
That's what I think is gonna be kind of
Oh
hard.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, because like there's not too many Japanese speakers in America.
Yeah,
but
there's not many Dutch.
I think it would be really cool to go somewhere that one of my other friends is.
Oh,
and then,
for sure, because you heard about
see
Ethan
them.
and Christian.
Oh no, I didn't.
Well, Ethan Glazier and Christian Christensen. So
Yeah.
Ethan Glazier got called to Washington Everett mission, and Christian got reassigned to that same
oh really?
mission.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is so sick.
Yeah, that's really
and
cool.
Caleb Nimmer, who's on here, and him and his cousin are going
Oh,
to
I
the
did
same
see
mission
that.
as well,
Yeah,
Arcadia, California, which is so
Yeah.
sick. I mean,
I haven't gotten a reassignment yet.
no, yeah. Everybody's getting theirs about, like, it seems like 2 weeks in advance before they go out on their mission. While some people, before they start their MTC. Some people, it's, like, very end of their MTC, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Probably get mine in, like, 4 weeks or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I did get a package the other day from the church.
Oh, really?
And it was really heavy, and I was like, oh, I wonder what it could be.
Ooh.
And it was just a bunch of Japanese books.
Oh. If anything, though, you're more prepared for, like, the language than, like, most people. Honestly.
Yeah, we were studying the other day, and my cousin, he was in Japan and he got pulled. But he comes and studies, and he was saying how he thinks that I've learned everything that they learned in the MTC.
Really?
So, I feel pretty well prepared. My grandpa, he taught Japanese at BYU, so I kind of had a
great teacher.
great head start there. So, but I do feel like in the week that I have not studied like at all, I've lost a little bit because it's pretty constant.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why like learning languages is the hardest when you're not immersed or like constantly studying it. That's why high school languages, no one's ever really fluent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like most of the time, like when I think like when I learned German, which is pretty close to Dutch, which has made like my beginning of Dutch study pretty easily. But most of the time, it's not that I'm actually like learning the language. It's like I'm learning how to speak it in English, more or less.
Really?
Like with an English mindset.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think like that's important to recognize, like how you have to change your mindset within like the language
for
you're
sure.
speaking.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing about learning a non-Latin language like Japanese. I'm not really sure about other language, but at least in Japanese, the thing is like. For Spanish, you kind of just substitute in the English word for the Spanish word.
Yeah, for the most
But
part.
Japanese, it's like, oh, the verb's always at the end, and this is always here, and you have to add this certain indicator that this is the direct object, and it's so different, from English that you can't really have the same mindset as English. You have to kind of change your mindset.
And I think what's hard with that too is one, you said like the direct object, and I don't even know what that means in an English sentence, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the kinds of things that make learning a language a little more difficult.
Yeah, it's interesting. You gotta like clear your mind of all your English thinking and just get into it there.
So what do you have left to do here before you head out?
Yeah, that was something I was gonna talk about. Like if all your, because like you come to the mission's like at the very end, of like almost like this end of your beginning of your life, and you're like, I got to do all of this before, and I want to talk about like the things you had lined up.
Yeah.
'Cause, I didn't have a whole lot lined up. I mean, I had like goals with videography, like I want to be doing this, this, and this by the time I leave, and like I've kind of been working on it. I got a little burnt out past little bit, just like not feeling very creative with things. So I've been wanting to do it like more for myself and not for the money, because I've been getting paid recently.
Oh, really?
More or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like it is awesome, and like, I love it. Like sick, I get to make videos and I get to make money, but at the same time, I'm just like.
But it kind of takes away the fun of it, kind of.
Yeah,
almost.
and like at the same time, I'm just barely turned 18. This isn't my career right now. I should be doing it like what I enjoy about it, and not get like sucked in way too deep into like one field of it or one part of it. That I'm like, nope, this is my life now.
Yeah, I totally understand how that is. I feel like if I were to, like someone said, I will pay you to run this amount of miles every single day, but you are never going to have any like races or competitions or anything. It would be very, very difficult to make me do it, even if it was, money.
Yeah, for sure.
That extrinsic motivation.
Exactly, and that's what it's turning to a lot. Because like I was talking about this yesterday with a friend, and helped me clear it all out. Was it felt like rather than like making videos, like it wasn't about like making it right there in that moment. So I was like, oh, this is such a cool shot. I really enjoy making this, this, and this. It was more like, what is this going to look like in the end, and how much money can I make, and like what kind of exposure can I get? And it's just unhealthy, no fun doo-doo.
Okay, yeah.
But
I get that.
But on the other side, I've just been trying to do like as much as possible. Like I went down to California on a whim with Christian, which was so fun, and just like tried to surf a few days. And
that's fun. Yeah.
Just like
surfing is hard.
It is hard, but it's so fun. I chafed until I bled in between my thighs. It was so bad.
That's funny.
It was so bad. But yeah, I don't know. I've just been trying to do as much as I can, live up this last summer.
Yeah.
What about you? Because you're working a lot.
Yeah, I am working a lot. I don't know. I feel like I've done quite a bit of what I wanted to do. And my two of my really good friends, Isaac and Nate, they both left. So I honestly just kind of feel like I'm counting down the days. It's kind of hard to get myself to do anything, and I almost wish that I was going in, like tomorrow, because there's just nothing left for me to do, and I like struggle to make myself go see new people and stuff.
Oh yeah. I get exactly what you're saying right now, because, well, at least I'm starting to. Because for a while, my mission always felt far away than it did close. But I finally hit like this 6-week mark, and like, because you can have like these long-term plans, and feel like there's so much space ahead of you, sort of thing. But like now all of a sudden, like the space just feels so much smaller than it did like a week ago. Because like a week ago was like 7 weeks. That's so long. There's so much to do. But 6 weeks, it kind of felt like crunched. I'm like, okay, like it's winding down for sure, And I think about like all the things I want to do. I'm like, but do I really want to? Because like I said, I'm like counting down the days a lot closer now.
Yeah, I totally saw that with Isaac and Nate. You would think that like right before you leave, you're like, oh, let's go do all this. But you're kind of like just kind of winding down more than like speeding up. You know?
Kind of like when you die.
Yeah, exactly.
Wind it on down.
You're kind of getting more at peace with the missionary life.
Exactly, and like accepting it. Because I feel like if you're someone who's trying to go, you're not actually ready to like go in there. Because as soon as you go into the field or like go into MTC, you're just gonna be like, oh, I still want to do this, and this, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to adjust to that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the wind down.
It will definitely take some adjusting to in the MTC, because I have not really been using my mind.
What do you mean?
Like other than studying Japanese, I don't really think very much. I just kind of go to Walmart and stock all the bananas, and it's not really mind stimulating.
Yeah, not to mention though, like with school being out, like I didn't study anything for school.
Oh
yeah.
You
want to talk?
Yeah, those AP tests.
You want to talk AP for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I hate AP right now. Well, I'm mad at AP for 2 reasons right now.
Okay.
Well, actually, I'm not super mad about my scores. I don't care. I don't care that I didn't pass English. Like that was the first time I've failed something. Like
okay, so how many tests did you take?
I took 3. So it was the 2 English ones and the stats ones.
Okay, those are the exact 3 that I took.
Yeah, exactly. So I was mad at first about like the 2 essays, and I was, are you kidding me? And I went back and read them, like, these are great essays. And then I had my brother read them, and he's like, these could barely pass for 3. I'm like, what? Because apparently I like actually had no idea what I was writing about. Like
That's interesting.
It was a good like analysis. But it wasn't a literary analysis or rhetorical, whatever that was. I just like didn't actually understand what I was trying to talk about. So then I was like, fine, whatever. I got a 4 on stats, so I'm fine with that. I would have preferred a 5, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was no room for error this year at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I got in stats.
Yeah.
I think I got a 4. It was either a 4. Yeah, it was a 4.
I haven't heard of anyone getting a 5.
Yeah, I didn't get a 5. I know that it was either 4 or 3. I'm pretty sure it was a 4 because I got a 4 in math and a 3 in one of the English ones and a 4 in the other one. I don't remember which one was which.
No, yeah, if I had just like actually known what I was like supposed to write about, it would have been fine. Because I know how to write, and like I feel like Nate were prepared as well, but like those just like 2 months of like no prep, I just kind of forgot what I was actually supposed to write about.
That's the thing about these tests, is that it's just one essay. And how does one essay capture what like how much you've learned in the entire year?
I was so mad that there was no multiple choice.
Yeah.
Because multiple choice is my ish, dude. Like on the few things I actually like studied for, I like went on for the multiple choice test that he like gave us, and both of them I only missed like 2 or 3 on them, and I'm like, dude, this is light work. Yeah. But that came in no handy.
I felt like multiple choice would have been a more viable option than the essay, because it's just clicking stuff on the computer.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I mean, maybe I guess it's easier to cheat with that, but
who knows?
I don't know. I feel like you didn't have time to really put much effort into cheating.
I was really I was really skeptical this year about like cheating and just like sense of like how that might change things. And I looked at all the stats of like the numbers of like who got 5s, 4s, and 3s for each test, and the test with the highest number of 5s was the calculus test.
Oh, really?
And I was super curious. I was like, that's the most concrete of all the other tests. So I'm like, that'd be the easiest to cheat on and look up answers.
That is true.
So I was like, but I like looked at like the stats from the year before, and they were pretty similar to it as well.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm like, okay. was
the
crazy.
calculus test was really hard.
It was hard, but like I felt very confident with it.
Oh yeah, I felt really well prepared. Mrs. Vanderbilt is a great teacher.
Shout out.
For those of you, thinking about taking her class.
She's a great teacher. So well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like I could check everything there. As with English, I just like, I feel good about this,
Yeah, that's the thing about English. You can't really check it. It's kind of like,
the thing was
how
with,
much do you feel?
Yeah, the thing was with stats too was I didn't even touch my calculator for the entire test.
Oh, really?
I think I found one average, and that was it. Otherwise, it was just so much comprehension.
I don't think I touched my calculator either.
It was just a bunch of like comprehensive like understanding of stats.
Yeah.
And it was
I think that was almost to my advantage. In stats because I did not study an ounce.
Oh,
for the
same.
stats
Not at all. I was so worried I was going to come to a problem like, what
Yeah.
do I even use here?
Uh-huh.
But the comprehensiveness like kind of sticks with you a lot better.
Yeah. And I had my notes. It was open notes. So.
Yeah, I watched the video on Khan Academy during the test.
Really?
Because it said it was open internet, so I was like, well,
yeah.
And I think
I looked up a concept or something.
Yeah, I think it was like geometric sequence or something like that, and I had to look that up.
Oh,
really quick.
yeah.
And I was like, what does that even mean? But maybe I got that
If
wrong.
you asked me
still.
to do that now,
Nope.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
No
but
idea.
the other thing is like if I were to review for maybe a week, I would probably.
Oh yeah.
Remember, so.
Same. That's how I feel about calculus still, or like most things like
exactly.
that.
But who knows after 2 years of not doing it?
Yeah.
But
who even knows?
yeah.
So the other reason that I'm mad at College Board right now is they put on this scholarship competition. It was a video scholarship.
Oh, really?
And it was super simple. Like all they said to do was you take your you make a video and announce where you're going to college, and like make it kind of creative, and just like have it a fun video, like saying where you're going to college. There's no other rules. It didn't say why you're going there or like how your journey came to be to go there. It's just like tell us where you're going to college.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I watched the winners from the year before. I'm like, bro. Too easy.
Okay,
Not to mention there are 22 winners. Top 3 get
really?
$5,000. The 5 below that get 35 each.
Oh, wow.
35,000. The 14 below that all get 1,000. I'm like, bro, I gotta get
35,000 or
What?
3,500.
3,500.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't sure if you had said that.
3,500. Yeah. So it was the $5,000 for the top 3,
35,000
3,500 for the 5 below that, and then 1,000 for the 14 below that.
Yeah, that's still really good.
So there's like I'm like, okay, I gotta win something at least.
Yeah, I saw his video. It was really good. It was really good.
And so was Christian's. I thought Christian's was great too.
was also good.
But they announced the winners the other day, and I wasn't one of them. And I was like, okay, maybe I got disqualified because I used a song in it, and they're like, you can't use any copyright materials. But I had the rights to that song because I subscribed to a music licensing, not software, business, and they like get me the licenses for everything. So I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be disqualified for this, And there's a whole bunch of reasons why I'm mad about this. So one of the main reasons is AP Board has the worst customer service ever. They are so bad.
Well, they just don't care.
Yeah, no. So I like call up like the main customer service, and I'm like, hey, I have some questions about this scholarship, and he's like, what scholarship is it? And I'm like, it's the Collegiate's video scholarship. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Not to mention, I could barely understand him because it sounded like he could barely speak English. And I was like, why would you put someone on your customer service that can barely speak English?
That drives me insane.
Like,
when you're talking.
I get like if he's bilingual, that'd be like convenient. That's good. But like if he can't speak English, which I feel like most of the calls coming in are going to be English. Then I was just like, okay. So I tried being patient with him because part of me like really wanted to go off, but I'm like, he's not the person to go off at because he doesn't know any better. He's just the subject of the corporation or whatever, of the system. Exactly. So I like tried scrolling through all their million different contact forms, and I got this other guy named Randy, super deep voice, and I talked to him, and he's like, we have thousands of scholarships. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, no idea.
Oh, really?
And he's like, I'm like, is there anyone I can call? He's like, there should be an email like on the page with it. I checked the page that like where you enter all these stuff, and there's no email, there's no contact form about the scholarship or anything. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So I was just annoyed with that. Not to mention that like I wasn't even one of the top 22 winners, or Christian wasn't either. And like the top 3 videos, okay, they were pretty good. Like I'm not gonna like diss on them and be like they were complete garbage or anything like that. One of them was a really good like claymation with the Play-Doh.
Oh, really?
I thought it was really cool. Another one was a good like animation that just was like cool and creative with like whatever they were announcing.
Claymation.
Yeah, claymation. Yeah, and then the other one was just like a video. Like that's the thing. The main thing I tried to do is I looked at like what they were judging it on and who was judging. I'm like, okay, I have to appeal to these people, And they said that there was like real filmmaker and media experts. I'm like, okay, this is it. Like this is where I can shine. Like I took like I was like, I can use minute details to kind of explain to them like my own like understanding of this. So I used simple things like real thirds to like convey messages and like the framing and just the movement. The colors especially were a big thing for me, like going from like a dull to a bright of the transition between high school and college. and just like showing off my cinematography, you know. But like the one that won, that was actually a video because the other two were animations.
Yeah.
There was nothing that special about it. I felt like it was just a bunch of random shots of this girl, and it was just her talking over it, saying, "Hi, this is my name. I want to go to this college to give back to my community because I work in my community." Basically, I'm just like, okay.
That is annoying.
So yeah, and not to mention she had someone help her make the video as well. So I was just like, whatever.
That's really annoying.
So I was kind of frustrated.
That's kind of how I feel like with teachers in general, like, which like is sometimes annoying, but like, you know, you spend some time on this paper and then glance over it and they'll just mark it. You know, you did it, good job. You know?
Yep, and you're just like, cool. That's also why AP bugs me, is because they just give you a score back. And I wish they like explained to me like, this is why you didn't do well. Because not only would I feel a bit more like at ease with like why I didn't do well, but I could actually still grow from that, you know? Because you never learn from a test if you don't actually get the answers, you know? That's why we do test corrections in all of our classes.
Yeah, exactly.
What were we saying though?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of like Walmart. Like, they don't really recognize me for my hard work, which is fine because they don't recognize
me appreciate me.
Well, which is fine because they don't recognize when I don't work hard, you know? Which is probably more often than I do work hard. Yeah. But when I do, it's kind of funny because, like, 90% of the time, I don't really work that hard. But then, like, the 10% that I'm working hard, but I'm like, why doesn't anyone notice that
no one appreciate
I'm working so hard? Yeah.
When do you feel like you're working hard, they're like, what are you doing?
Well, it's just like there's a bunch of stuff that no one wants to do, and so I'll be like the one to do it.
I'll take
and then
this
like
on.
I'll like take time out of my break in order to do this certain thing, and like it like feels like such a sacrifice.
Such a sacrifice.
But when in reality, 90% of the time I'm on break. Not actually, but pretty much.
Jeez.
But yeah.
So
is that all we have on AP College Board?
Yeah, that's about it. I'm over it. I'm making a little video right now to spite them, try and get their attention, because they don't reply to DMs or my emails or comments on Instagram or anything.
See, that sounds like a video that would be fun to make.
Exactly.
Even if you don't get necessarily paid or recognized, it just sounds.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I'm enjoying making it right now, and like I don't really care about the end process of it. So it's fun.
Yeah, like when I make videos with my cousins, like obviously we don't care about the quality at all, and it is the time of my life. I like have so much fun.
And like, it just feels so cool.
And if I was all of a sudden being paid to make something quality, then I don't know if I would like it as much, even if I was getting paid.
Yeah, there's like this.
You kind of see that with YouTubers too. Like my favorite YouTuber, Niyahiga. He was hilarious, and then all of a sudden he just stopped making videos, and they weren't very good. And you know, he hopped on and he said, well, it's because I'm just not having fun making these videos anymore. I'm just making them to make money, and I don't really have fun making them. So
exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't really make them anymore. But he was hilarious when he was making videos.
Yeah, that's something that like this book right here, Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon or whatever it is. Like kind of
for those of you who can't see.
Yeah, for those of you who can't see. It was kind of like talking to me about, it talked about like keeping your day job, you know, when you still have like an artistic pursuit. And I don't know if I actually agree with that, just because Hokule'a for me, like, although it's fun, I think not having it would be better for me in some senses, just because like, I don't know, like I don't need the money from Hokule'a. I think that's the main reason. Like you want to make sure that you have a comfortable source of money coming in from somewhere else, so you don't have to rely on your artistic and creativeness to get you your money. Because then the only pressure that you have to be creative is to get money out of it, which I totally agree with there. But like right now, I have no pressure to make money in any form. So one, I don't like Hokule'a because I don't really care to make any money, and like sure, it's a fun job I guess, but like for the most part, like I always work closing shifts, and like bro, I just want to go do stuff at night.
I think that's interesting, you know, because you hear a lot of people who made it big who basically had absolutely nothing except for this one thing, you know. For example, this is just a random example. There's a lot of examples, but Eminem, you know, he had absolutely nothing, and so he had nothing to lose, and he went to I'm quoting his song Mockingbird. I don't know if this is historically accurate, but he went to California with his CD and he showed Dr. Dre, and you know, he had absolutely nothing to lose, right? Yeah. Whereas if you or someone in general, you know, still has their job to lose, then they won't necessarily take that risk because they still have their job to lose. You know? So I think I mean, it's a tough balance because if you are, not necessarily Hokulea, but say you're like an accountant, but your true passion is art, and you're not gonna really want to quit your accounting job because you make really good money doing that, and then you wouldn't want to just leave that because it's a tough balance. But like, if someone were to tell you that if you leave your accounting job, you will make it successful as an artist, they would probably do that.
Yeah,
but it's just a hard thing to know right off the bat.
Yeah, and that's like something I've thought about just in life in general, because everybody's always like, make you work, like love what you do for work, and you'll never work a day in your life, sort of thing. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever, sort of thing, But like, honestly, in the end, work is work, and you need to like get money, you need to be able to like sustain your life, and then you can still have your hobbies, and like hobbies are important. It's never supposed to like consume your whole life unless you're pro at it. In that case, that's rad. That's super fun, I guess,
Yeah, yeah. I've always, wondered what I'll do, like 20 years down the line, because I don't want to just be doing my job, I want to like, obviously maybe, well, I guess I'll still be fine. In 20 years, like I'll still be, playing sports and stuff. And doing stuff like that to stay physically active. But maybe not even that, like kind of doing something different, that I've never done before. I still want to be doing new stuff 20 years from now. I just want to be like, this is the only time that I have to grow and learn something about myself. But.
I mean, I think obviously we won't be able to pursue things as far and as hard. I mean, like we can have hobbies that like we want to get better at, like just little by little, but it'll never be like, I'm dedicating my whole like life to this. Because I think about like the parents that do like Ironmans and things like that. That is a huge like sacrifice, I guess. It's because like I think about, there's this mom in my ward who does that, and she has to wake up super early every single day so she can get in all her training and then get home in time and get the kids like ready and get them to school. And then she's just like training all day, and then she has to like just do all the other stuff she has. I don't know if she actually has a job or anything like that, but either way, it's just like it's so much harder to pursue something you love when like you have your family. And I think that's important to recognize, like the balance there.
Yeah.
So I feel like once I have kids, like my whole life will just be them.
Yeah.
Kind of like Logic.
That's not necessarily. Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily a bad thing, No,
not at all. And I think it'll still be incredibly rewarding. I won't just be them like, oh, I'm so bored. I just have to watch my kids live while I can't, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I do think that like making time for yourself and like exploring things like that, it will be, fun. It will be more of a sacrifice, but it'll still be something that I find interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who knows what we'll end up doing.
These podcasts are really serious when we don't have a guest on.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that, like, we don't really laugh as much.
Yeah, no, we don't.
But, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, yeah, just some good dialogue.
Yeah.
As we do.
Yeah. Trying to think of if we have anything else to say.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering what post-mission life looks like for you.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean...
It's kind of hard to think about that.
It is.
Yeah, because the mission is so real, and it's like the most real thing.
And it's so long, too. But then at the same time, like, you think about college, and it also feels just, like, right there. Like, it just... I feel like you're going to, like, leave, and you'll go on your mission, and then you'll come back to college, and I feel like you wouldn't have missed a step, Because everybody's doing that right now. Everybody's going on the mission. I mean, there's a few people who are staying going to college, but they're not going to get, like, that far ahead. Not that much is going to change. So I feel like the mission will almost just, like... become its own little world, and it'll be like almost seamless between it.
I get that. So you will probably have to wait a semester.
I don't think I will.
Really?
Hopefully. Because if I get back September, like beginning
when
of
is
September,
your MTC day?
September 2nd.
Oh, okay, so you could probably make it.
I will make it, because if I don't, I'm gonna be so mad, because I don't want to.
I will.
Because that would suck.
Yeah.
Like you come back and you just got this whole semester, and it's like, well,
you could
work,
but that is a really long time.
Exactly. And I
just be going to Walmart
exactly. And like
day.
as soon as I get back, I want to just get right back into like my social life, and like videography or whatever it is that I'm feeling, like whatever like revelation I'll get out on my mission. Because I know like lots of people have like been so set on like, this is what I'm gonna do when I get back, and then they get back, they're like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. You know?
Yeah. I would say I'm pretty excited for post mission life.
No, same.
I'm leaving home and starting new college.
Because for a while, like I was never like crazy excited about college. I don't know if you were. Were you ever like really stoked on like, yes, college is gonna be the best?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would always say like like, I mean, not to like be like, oh yeah, I'm so cool, but I was mostly just focused on where I was in the moment, you know, like at high school, I just focused on being in high school, not like, oh, I can't wait till this is over because then I'll be in college.
Exactly. No, that's important because there's too many people who are just like, I'm just so sick of high school, you know, I'm just like, I'm above this or whatever. It's just like, we're all still here, so like, why can't you be here, you know?
Yeah.
And
obviously I will never go back, but like when I was in high school, I you know, I was in high school.
No, yeah, I think about like, because I think the next time I'm actually going to interact with a high school, most likely is when my kids are going to be in there.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
you'll go and coach the climbing team.
No, maybe I'll go and not, if the basketball team's really good one year, I'm like kind of around, I'm like, maybe I'll go to a game or two.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I'll go into the student section, get right up in the front, like, this is my house.
Oh yeah, like even if I wasn't going on a mission and I was going to college, like there are kids that would come back to like football games and basketball games and stuff like that. It's like, do you really have nothing else to do?
Yeah, and like in some ways I kind of get it because either they have a lot of like friends that were beneath them, like a lot of senior friends, or they would have been juniors when they were seniors.
True. Yeah.
And I kind of get like they were really tight in that sense. But like if it's just like random people, I'm like, okay, like as much as I love high school basketball, it's kind of weirder if you're not like there with like your squad of friends, or you're not there like and you know all the players at all. I think like when I honestly wanted my parents to come to the games more because they were super fun, because I wanted like this whole like community around like the basketball team.
Yeah.
And like I bet when I'm older, if like my kids like team, even if he's not on it or not, who knows, height. If their team's really good, I would love to just go to the games. I mean, obviously I wouldn't like hang out with like my son or my daughter or whatever, but I just watch them for myself because I think they're fun, and it's fun to like be involved with like the sport that like your kids enjoy watching as well. Because I always come home and I tell my parents about it, and they're like, who, what happened? I'm just like, never mind.
Yeah, I could see myself getting into it. At the same time, like high school basketball is just not as fun to watch as college or NBA.
For sure.
But you know, when I was a student, it was awesome to watch.
Oh yeah, so fun.
Yeah.
Who knows what post like mission life is like? And the only thing that I think about too is like, I wonder, do you think everyone will stay out for the full 2 years, or do you think there's something else will happen again where everyone's got to get sent home again?
I was wondering about that too, because, you know, what if there is another pandemic or something, and
or
we
just
all
like
have to come
a
home?
Spike or whatever they want to say, and be like, no, get everybody out of here.
I don't know. I'm hopeful that it won't happen again.
Yeah.
But like, it could be something completely different. Like, it could be like the world is flooding. And
oh yeah. No, I think about like all the crap that could actually go down. The only reason why I want to be back is because my family rented this super rad house for next summer's like family reunion, and I saw it and I was just like, this is not fair. Why do you have to get this year?
Yeah.
You know.
That's awesome.
It's whatever.
I went to a family reunion just barely.
Yeah.
The cabin we stayed at was really nice. It was really nice.
I love renting just a nice house. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Just like, and I don't like looking at pictures beforehand because I just step in, I just run around everywhere. I'm just like, this is so cool.
Yeah. You feel like a little kid.
Exactly. No, we'll be out the full 2 years, whether we're in the States the full 2 years, which I doubt will happen, honestly.
I hope not. I wouldn't say I doubt it'll happen.
No, yeah.
I would say like, I'm pretty confident that I'll make it to Japan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident.
For sure.
Because I still have a full 2 years, and it looks like the vaccine will be ready by December, January.
Yeah, no, and I've seen like there's like some vaccines have made it to like the final round of testing.
This is what I'm worried about, is that the vaccine won't be the end all. Because I feel like right now we are in a state where we could just end it all. You know, like we have really good healthcare, like good care in place for when someone gets it, you know, and like it's not affecting it's not really affecting young people.
Exactly. Like when people get it, there's only a few people who actually need to go to the hospitals.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I feel like I feel like we could end it all. It's just that like we kind of have to stay cautious. Like people in charge have to stay cautious because they don't want to be responsible for these
they'll get hosed for it.
Yeah,
if, like,
exactly.
Just think about like all the like trash like people are throwing at like Trump or any of these people. I think that's really funny. Like this is like probably the last little bit we'll talk about. But I think it's funny when people are just like, look at Trump's America right now. Look at it in shambles. I'm just like, well, I mean, to be fair, I mean,
this is the thing that bothered me. I will preface this by saying I am like I'm pro Trump. I don't think he's a great president, but I'm pro Trump. But the thing that bothered me was that people were blaming him for the uptake in cases. And at the same time, while we were locked down, they were blaming him for the bad economy. It's like, well, he wants to open it up. You can't have both.
Exactly. No, they were like, we are at mass unemployment and we're at mass cases. I'm like, okay, that's a fully loaded question.
Yeah,
he can't do one or the other without making one of them worse.
Like, you can't lock down without destroying the economy.
Exactly.
And we can't like let the economy go free without getting a lot of cases.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like you guys can't really blame him for both. I understand like he hasn't handled it the best.
Yeah.
I think he's handled it pretty well.
Yeah.
But he hasn't handled it the best.
I think it's funny when they say that. I'm like, you're giving Trump too much credit. He can't do all that well.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I don't really want to get political. Yeah. I do feel pretty strongly about a lot of these things going on right now. Yeah. And I was thinking about starting a separate podcast to talk about it, but I realized I don't really want the hate right now.
Yeah.
So
I don't want that hate.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do it in college. That's another thing in college. Like, I was thinking about all the things I want to try.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to start a podcast in college. You know, like. Maybe we'll have a CT scan.
Maybe we'll still have it. No, I've like thinking about like when you're gone and like some days I'm like I kind of want to do one by myself.
Yeah,
you know?
I've always thought about doing one by myself.
Like I would like record myself in my car sometimes, just on my phone, just me talking. And sometimes I really enjoyed like what I would talk about and breaking it down by myself in my own mind, you know?
Yeah.
And like having this conversation within myself and seeing where I could get to with it. Because like obviously when you're talking to someone else, you can like bounce back and round out your ideas way more, but it's cool to see how you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Rather than just spout my own like knowledge, I have a real conversation.
That's
with
why
myself.
I've been trying to listen to a lot more, really intellectual podcasts, like intellectual conversations that people have with each other, because I feel like it makes me think more intellectually.
Yeah, it makes you think like that.
And like get to, like you said, like get to a certain point with yourself,
for
and
sure.
explore new concepts. So that's another thing that makes me excited for college is, expanding my brain and stuff like that.
And like I've thought about like sometimes like, will I go to college? Because like if I'm making enough money with videos, why do I need to go to college? But I think it's just so vital and important to get that breadth of knowledge that you do get from college.
Yeah, because it's priceless.
Exactly.
It really is.
And like,
I mean, it costs a lot.
Yeah.
But
and no matter what, like when I'm done with college, I still want to make sure I'm reading a lot. Like even though like I've been a horrible reader my whole life, but like ever since I read like Steal Like an Artist and started reading The Untethered Soul, I'm just like, why am I not reading more?
Yeah.
And now I find myself reading each day just for a little bit. And
my dad and my whole dad's side of the family is really big readers, and it being around them this past week made me kind of realize that a lot of the literary merit that they contain, like that their brains have because of they've read all these classic books and really high profile books, is kind of lost on this next set of grandkids because they don't read as much, because they've kind of grown up. And I sound really cynical saying this. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing that we grew up with technology and all this, but it is like we've kind of lost the ability to sit down and just focus on reading a book. Because I found myself like bored reading a book.
Bored,
yeah,
dude.
just sitting there and reading a book. But that's what they used to do, when there was not all this technology.
Yeah, just like, let's go pick up a book and read it.
No. And I find that even like listening to podcasts, I can't just sit there and listen to a podcast. I have to be doing something else.
Oh yeah, so that way your mind doesn't like go off.
Yeah,
in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to just sit there and listen instead of like listening while I'm at Walmart, stocking the salads or something. But one of my few jobs.
One of your few jobs, yes. A man of many trades.
Yeah.
Trades. Yeah. So I just want to make sure I'm reading more during college, after college, because I think that's the most important thing. So as much as you learn in college, you have to continue to engage your mind throughout life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I kind of want a job where I learn more each day.
Exactly.
And not just sit and do the same thing every.
Exactly, because there's still like some jobs where like you learn all this stuff and then you go back and just spouting that back out like every single day.
Yeah.
And like they'll still pay good, but I want one that's growing, changing. That's why I like videos, because every single job is different, every single thing is just like new and fun and creative, but I gotta make sure I just don't burn out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, do we have anything else?
No.
This has been a good episode in my opinion.
I'm always like curious because sometimes I feel like it's a good episode, but like, and I look back, I'm like, We were all over the
Yeah,
place. I have no
yeah.
idea where we went. But
Yeah, I do feel like that sometimes.
yeah, the
We
ones that,
we didn't necessarily prepare. We usually prepare pretty well. We didn't prepare almost at all
No, yeah.
for this one, so
no, the one
kind of like our first episode.
yeah, though it's okay. It's whatever.
But I think we're a little better at staying on topic now.
yeah, and like kind of diving deeper into ideas and like exploring them a little more,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even though we may not go on about one thing for an hour, which I think is possible. And that's why when I
yeah.
do something by myself, that's what I would like to do is take one idea, because it's a lot easier just to be, okay, I'm just going to take this one idea and break it down by myself right now.
Oh yeah, like when you're by yourself, like your mind is really unfocused, you know, because it just bounces all over the place.
all over the place.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you have to kind of like train your mind to stick on one topic for a long period of time
And just break it down.
Yeah, especially I feel like I'm really bad at it because I'm just thinking about so many different things at once.
Oh no,
but,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think about like in like the Untethered Soul, it talks about like how much your mind just bounces around and just changes from thing to thing to thing. And
I thought one
How it never
interesting
shuts
point.
up.
Yeah. So, okay, I don't want to dive too. Well, maybe we should dive pretty deep into this. But so there's a couple things with the Untethered Soul. One of the things it said was, it said, imagine that your brain was a human person
oh yes.
talking to yourself, you know, talking like right behind you for the entire day. You would think it was so annoying. You know, you would think it was really annoying,
And you'd want it to shut up
and
and go
yeah,
away.
you would want it, you know, to blow your head off.
Exactly.
But the thing that I have trouble with is separating the ego, which is, you know, your thoughts, between you, you know?
Yeah,
I
same.
still don't really understand that. Like, as much, I think about this all the time when I'm mowing the lawn for some reason. Like, I can't understand, because when I talk to myself, I talk like this, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's cool, you know, or something like that. So I can't really understand what it's different, like my thoughts are from me, you know. I don't really understand the difference, you know?
Yeah. So it's funny to like take these and like think how you visualize it. For me, like the way I visualized it was like, here I am, like me sitting at the top of the back of my head, like sitting up in this chair, and then way down in this pit is this little rambunctious guy who's just running around like a bunch of filing cabinets and ripping everything open, you know? And that's just like, that's the thinker with the ego or whatever, just bouncing around thinking about so many different things, you know? And like, I've gotten pretty good with like visualizing things, like more or less like in a meditative state. So like, I like took him out, I guess, and like gave him a body, had him sit there, you know? And just trying to imagine like his words just like going past me, just like anything I see goes past me. Like I look at the trees and I'm just like trees, you know, just like how a thought would come by, like sad thought. I don't like look at him, break it down and have to like feel it, you know, it's just like, that's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, there are elements that I definitely use today. Like one thing that I've used a lot is like, I think we talked about it in the podcast with Darcy, was where you have like a food that's gross, and then you just try to find elements that you like about it, or you just kind of feel the flavor rather than pushing everything out and just trying not to feel it or taste it and just chewing and swallowing as fast as you can.
There's a quote from here that I really like with that.
Yeah, so I've been using that a lot. My mom, I hate to say this, but my mom cooks basically every night, and she's an amazing cook. She cooks really great things, but sometimes they're just not that good.
They're just not that
and
good.
So, which is fine with me because I feel like I can eat pretty much anything, and it's really good training from a mission. So that's why I've been trying to incorporate this.
So right here it says, when a problem is disturbing you, don't ask what should I do about it. Ask what part of me is being disturbed by this. And like it says, like if you ask what should I do about this, it's automatically saying like this is all bad, you know, rather than saying just like, okay, what part of this is actually bothering me? Okay, let's just not think about that. Let's think about the other thing, you know, like what part of this do I actually enjoy, or like what part can I find enjoyment from? I think that's so important with just anything we do nowadays, like
a cold shower.
Exactly, dude. Everything in this is just like cold shower, because like instead of just being like, oh, what do I do about this? I need to turn it warm. It's just like, okay, what part is me disturbed with this? Just my body. It's a little cold.
Yeah,
but it's
I actually
my mind.
have been taking a lot more cold showers.
Oh, rad.
But I mean, it is summer, so it's a lot easier.
It is so much easier.
But yeah, the thing is like waking up in the dead of winter at like 5 a.m. and you go to the shower. The absolute last thing I want to do is take a cold shower. You know, is step in the shower and just be freezing and miserable, you know? So that's where I have a problem.
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah, with taking cold showers. But I do see you know, like how I could come to. I just think why force myself to do that?
That's something Darcy was talking about too. Is like if your body like really has no part of you that wants to do it, then like,
maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, then don't do it necessarily. You know, like find like the parts of it that really want to. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading this so then next time I can like have a more rounded conversation about it and like point out some more things that I'm interested with.
Yeah, maybe. I read it a while ago, so maybe if I
refresh yourself a little.
or write some notes down, because I didn't write anything down. So
yeah, well, probably should end this because my mom didn't want this going over an hour, and
I think we're close to an hour.
Yeah, pretty close to an hour. Oh well.
All right.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll have one farewell episode, and then we'll see if we get any bonus episodes in. So, thanks for watching as always.
Right on.
Right on. Cool. Oh, we forgot the clap.
Oh.